Hey there! Today's recipe is peanut butter and jelly bars. And don't be fooled by the name, they are definitely not just for kids. These delicious bars have a rich and buttery crust, a creamy peanut butter filling, topped with strawberry jelly, baked to perfection. It's the perfect blend of salty and sweet. My name is Mari. I'm going to show you how to make them. You want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. The next thing you want to do is melt 6 tablespoons of butter. I am using salted butter for this. All right, let me get you down here and show you how I make these bars. Okay, so in this bowl, well, the first thing I did, this is an 8x8 baking pan, and I've just lined it with foil. Normally I use parchment, but unfortunately I'm out of that right now, so this is foil, and I have lightly sprayed it with some cooking spray. Then in this large bowl, the first thing I'm adding is 1.5 cups of quick cooking oats. And then I have 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of packed light brown sugar. And I'm gonna give this a mix real quick. Just a little bit of a mix. All right. Next thing is 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Go ahead and pour those in. Make sure I get it all out. And last thing, I'm going to do just a little bit of vanilla. Maybe 1/2 teaspoon. And just going to get this combined. And then the next thing, I'm gonna add that melted butter. And what this is making the crust for these bars. Let me grab the butter. Okay, pour it in. Now that this is all mixed, I'm going to take out 1/2 cup of this mixture because this is, and I'm going to put it aside because this is what's going to go on the top of the layers. So just going to take out 1/2 cup, put it in a bowl. And now this is ready to go into the 8x8 baking dish. This is your first layer. Okay, now I'm just going to work this and press it down in there so that it's all firm. Just going to use my hands, my clean hands. It's the best way to get it all mushed down. Okay, that should do it. You just want to make sure that it's even, get it all the way into the corners. Now I'm going to put this in the oven for about 15 minutes. While this is cooking, we are going to make the next layer. All right, now let's make the filling. Okay, so I am just going to use the same bowl that I mixed the topping in. And to this, I'm going to add 8 ounces of cream cheese softened at room temperature. Then I have 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter. You probably could use crunchy peanut butter with this, but I've just never done it, so I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think it would be, there'd be anything wrong with that, but I've only made it with creamy. If you make it with crunchy, let me know how it turns out. All right, I'm gonna do a little splash of vanilla, maybe 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 pinch of salt, maybe 1/8 teaspoon or less, just a little bit. And then the last thing is 1 egg. All right. Now I'm going to beat this until it is all combined. And just to add a little bit bit of sweetness to this layer, I'm going to drizzle in just a little bit of this honey. Maybe almost a teaspoon. And just mix that up. All right, there we go. All right, the crust is out of the oven and I let it cool for a little bit. And now I'm gonna spread the peanut butter filling on top of it. So let me show you that. All right, so here's our peanut butter filling. And I'm just gonna spread this on the crust. This is a pretty thick layer when you spread it on, but when it cooks, it just kind of cooks down a little bit. So it's gonna look like a lot at first, but once it's all cooked and done, it somehow, I don't know, it doesn't end up looking so thick. All right. Okay. These bars are so good that whenever I make them, we have a hard time not eating like way more than we should. Let me just say that, because they're so delicious. All right, now, let's see if I can get all that off. There we go. All right, now here's the strawberry jelly. And this is about 3/4 of a cup. You can actually use whatever kind of jelly you want. We just like strawberry, but I've also made this with, in fact, the last time I made this, it had a black cherry jelly, which was absolutely delicious. But you could use grape. You really can use any kind of jelly that you want here. Now, you want to make sure you get this really spread to all the corners so that all of it gets a little bit of jelly. And if you want more jelly on it, you could probably go as much as a cup. You just don't want to go too crazy. I wouldn't go any more than that. I think about 3/4 usually does it without being too thick. And it's okay if some of the peanut butter gets kind of mixed with the jelly when you're spreading it out. Okay, almost done. I think that looks pretty good. This last little bit out. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now, last step. So remember the 1/2 cup of crust that we took out before we pressed it into the pan? Now we're gonna go ahead and use this on the top, and you just want to sprinkle it on top of the jelly. And this is just gonna bake down kind of into the jelly. And remember, it's got the butter and the cinnamon and the oats and all of that. It's gonna be perfect. Okay, there we go. Now it's not supposed to cover it. You can still see a little bit of jelly in it, and that's what you want. Okay, now I'm gonna put it back in that oven, 350 degrees. I'm gonna cook it for about 30 minutes. You just kind of wanna check it, don't let it burn. But I'm gonna set my timer for 30 minutes and kind of see how it looks. And then when it's done, I wanna let it cool for a little bit before I cut into them or eat them, probably about 30 minutes at least. And then we will come back and give it a taste. All right, the bars are done. And just show you.
There's the layers.
See the layers?
Mm-hmm.
We let these cool for about an hour, would you say? It's probably been about an hour, yeah. All right, you ready to take a bite?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want the edge.
Oh, you want the edge?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want the crunchy part.
Gotcha. Okay. Mm.
Mm.
Mm. These are so good.
Really good.
How would you describe them? Like, it kind of tastes like a little bit like a peanut butter jelly sandwich, almost like kind of like one of those Crustables.
Yeah.
That we ate, but better.
But a cookie version of a Crustable.
Yeah, I would say better. Wouldn't you say better?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're delicious. Well,
Really good.
we won't sit here and eat these in front. But they're delicious. They're very good. If you have kids, I think your kids will like these. You can pack them in a lunchbox. It's a great dessert. You know, there's really not a whole lot. I mean, there is a little bit of sugar in here, a little bit of honey, but overall, it doesn't really have any bad ingredients or anything. So, I don't know. They're kind of healthy, I guess. Anyway, thank you so much for watching our video. We always appreciate your time. Would love to have you subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed our video, give us a like. If you do end up making these and you make any changes to it, leave me a comment, let me know. I'm always open to new ideas, especially for something that I already like. It might be even better. So, is that it?
That's it.
All right. Thanks again. That's a wrap.
Bye, guys.